first thing is don't sell yourself short. And something that my husband told me repeatedly over the last 6 months, get out of your own head. Because if you sell yourself short and you're in your own head too much, you're going to limit yourself. And it's something that I think is selling yourself short is something easy to do, especially when you're going to do something that is as scary and intimidating as doing a complete shift in careers. But I think teachers in particular have a lot of very transferable skills. And just because, you're not in a classroom in front of kids anymore, doesn't mean that you're not going to be using your skills as an educator in some way, whether it's, as a business analyst now, part of my role is going to involve training people on how to use the software and how to use their Salesforce instance, training people on how to use that. That's going to bring my skills as an educator in. And sometimes things require a lot of patience and multitasking and project management and data analysis and things like that. And all of those things are things that teachers do. So even if you don't have the technical know-how, you do have a lot of those soft skills that are really valuable. And a lot of people will see that, and a lot of recruiters and hiring managers will notice that and will appreciate that. You just have to sort of know how to market yourself and really build upon those skills and talk those skills up in interviews and in your resume, your LinkedIn, all of that. So my career has done kind of a complete 180 from what I was doing before. Before this, I was a social studies teacher. And before that, I was actually in grad school planning on getting my PhD in history. So my background is largely in history and in education. So a career in technology was never, ever something that was on my radar. And so it's been really interesting trying to learn my way around this new platform and this new career path. The 2020 to 2021 school year was really hard on me, I'm sure you can imagine, and it was hard on a lot of people. Teaching is a really, really tough profession, and I have utmost respect for people that are still doing it. I got really burned out and I needed a change. I was commuting an hour each way to the school I was working at, and that alone was draining, on top of teaching in person during a pandemic and all of that. And because we were in person the entire school year. My husband actually listens to the Choose FI podcast, and he kept telling me, like, hey, maybe you should look into this. Maybe you should, try this out. And he's been right about a lot of things. So I was kind of resistant at first because I didn't want him to be right about this again. And he's not at all smug about it now. But so I did the 5-day challenge and did that when I was actually, funnily enough, on quarantine after being exposed to COVID by a couple of my coworkers. And did that, and it kind of stayed in the back of my mind for the rest of the school year. And when I finally realized, I was just like, I can't keep doing this. I'm going to burn myself out really bad if I keep putting myself through this. I told my principal that I was not going to come back after the school year, and decided in May to enroll in the Talent Stacker program. The promise of additional structure was what got me, because I'm the kind of person that I need that external structure. I can be self-motivated, but it's a lot easier for me to get things done if I have something like more immediate deadlines, or I can take something massive like learning this entire software or this entire system and getting certified in it, and breaking it down into smaller chunks, whether it's week by week with study groups or the different modules or anything like that. And also so if I don't have those deadlines, I'm a bit of a procrastinator, and it's one of those things like, I know who makes the rules and I know she's full of it. So I can, say that I'm going to do this and then decide to do something else. So just doing something like Talent Stacker really gave me that structure. I really liked the study group aspect of it. So I had this core group of 3 other people who were roughly in the same spot as I was. I was probably the only one that was transitioning out of such a different career. So most of them had some sort of experience with a CRM in the past, but it was really nice to have that sense of community and collaboration and commiseration. And I really liked that, the idea of that from the get-go. Plus the idea of marketing myself on LinkedIn seemed a little fake to me, I guess. Like, I'm really bad at talking myself up. I'm really bad at that whole branding sort of thing. So I knew I wanted a little bit of guidance on that. And then plus the idea of connecting myself with, or getting connected to other volunteer opportunities was really attractive to me. Because, you know, I knew I was coming into a field that I had absolutely zero experience in. And so I knew that I was going to need to do something like that to differentiate myself. The larger weekly, not trivia night, but like the quizzes, that helped me, because it's one of those things that reminds you that you're not the only person going through this. And because sometimes when you're, you know, sitting in your computer alone day after day, it can get kind of isolating. So having that sense of community was really refreshing. And also I'm competitive, so it was it unleashed that little competitive streak in me. So it made me, like, I was thinking like I would, you know, want to procrastinate looking at this particular module or like particular thing on Focus on Force, and I was just like, no, I have to get caught up because I have to do well at trivia, or like at during the study group or review or whatever you want to call it. It was like, I have to do better than I did last week because I did not do very well. It's just that little rush of dopamine or whatever it is that you get when you see your name on the leaderboard. It was really intimidating, like when I first started getting requests for interviews or screening calls. And it was also kind of frustrating too. Like, I had a recruiter ghost me. I had I made it to the 4th round of interviews with the company, and then I promptly bombed that because it was it was a technical interview and I had never done one before. So now I know what to expect. But the whole process definitely was a lot less intimidating when I had the resources from like Talent Stacker and the and experiences that other people had shared in the Facebook group or in the Talent Stacker community. It wasn't a job posting. It was just a post on LinkedIn. I want to say somebody took a screenshot of it on LinkedIn and then posted it to the Facebook group and was like, hey, any teachers in here, I know I've seen a few of you, you should check this out. And it was, and Servio had a post that was like, hey, are you in Salesforce with a background in education? Email us your resume. And I did. And I included basically my cover letter as the body of my email and attached my resume. And then I got a call asking for actually 2 interviews. They wanted me to interview for the business analyst role and for the technical consultant role. And then after that, kind of go from there as seeing what I think would be a better fit and what they thought I would be good at. And yeah, ended up interviewing with like 3, 4, like 5 different people before getting the initial offer. Honestly, didn't quite feel real at first, because it had been, 6 months. And when I got the, and I got the certification in October, and I knew, I probably wasn't going to get a job right away, but it was still kind of discouraging after a while, throwing out so many job applications. I kind of felt like I was just throwing stuff at a wall to see what would stick. But, keeping at it was good, and the interview experience I did get was good. And then I got the offer. I was actually at my in-laws' house for Christmas, so it was a little surreal almost. Like, I don't think it really felt real to me until we were back here at our house. But it was really good. It really has paid off, I think. It was just like a really good sort of sense of accomplishment. It's been interesting so far. Just kind of trying to learn my way around these systems at this new company, and learning exactly what a business analyst does and what my job is going to entail. But they're also, this company is really great about, collaboration, and I can always reach out if there's questions, and there's always somebody there that's going to be willing to help me, and I can really sort of learn and grow in this role. And the thing that's really nice about this company is I can sort of wear a lot of different hats, and if I do feel eventually that maybe I do want to go the more technical route, or maybe I want to evolve into a project manager role or something like that, there's room to sort of grow and do that and try new different things before fully committing.